104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. Very cool right now experience going on the phone as we got a guy who was in the NBA for over a decade. NBA All-Star Kenny Anderson joins us. Kenny, you are a New York City basketball legend. Why are players from the NYC so good?
Playgrounds, man, I would have to say. You know, how we brought up. We brought up in the playgrounds. There's a lot of guys out there that's competitive, that's probably much better than me, that didn't have the self-discipline to go to school and do what it takes to go to the college level. But definitely, man, the playground.
Kenny, it's funny because I grew up in upstate New York. You'd never believe it looking at me now. I used to frequent the playgrounds. I get so mad nowadays. I see these point guards pick up their dribble so fast. I remember you you would have to hit you with a crowbar to get you to pick up your dribble.
Yeah, you learn that in the playgrounds, man. They saying a lot of the New York point guards couldn't shoot because we just used to penetrate and get to the basket so easy. So it's, it was a blessing growing up in the blacktop in New York, and that was my outlet. That's where I was always, to sun up to sundown, man, right in the playground.
Kenny, it always breaks my heart being a Syracuse basketball fan, thinking that the Orange were going to have you, then the Orange men. But you go to Georgia Tech, man. Why didn't you come to Syracuse?
Yeah, I was close, man. I was 2 minutes from going to Syracuse. I like Syracuse. I'm a big Pearl Washington fan, but my mother fell in love with Atlanta, fell in love with Coach Crimmins. He's being from the Bronx. He just felt comfortable with me going to Atlanta. And I'm a mama's boy, so I picked the right decision. I made the right decision for me, man.
Kenny Anderson with us right now, NBA All-Star on 104.5 The Team. Kenny, a lot of Knicks fans up here in the Capital Region pulling their hair out, trying to make sense of what's going on. Can you make sense of the Knicks, or can you compare them to anything you went through during your career?
No, I just think it's Phil Jackson. He's won 11 championships as a coach, but really he has failed as a general manager and a president of a team. He just haven't put the right team together so it could be successful. Now, on another note, they have a great player in Carmelo who's getting up there in years. Phil keeps pushing him, want to push him out, want to take his no trade clause away so he can get traded and so they can rebuild and, rebuilding. So, and Newton, you can't rebuild with the Knicks. The guys in New York, we want to win now. So I'm not sure. They're in the crossroads right now, and it's pretty tough times being a Knicks fan.
How do teammates in the locker room react to that when they see their boss, basically, Phil Jackson, going after the star player? Is it always supporting the teammates? Does it create a bad environment in the locker room? What happens?
I don't know about locker room, but it gives you your credibility. You lose your credibility, from being a general manager, a president, or even an organization. A lot of players questioning the Knicks right now. And also on top of that, being in New York and playing, it takes a strong, thick-skinned person to really develop and prosper in New York because the fans, we want winners right away. It's a lot of pressure on the players, and I tip my hat off to Melo. He's one of the few that did it, came to New York. All the craziness surrounded him. He's balling. He's still putting up numbers, and he's able to perform well. He's handled himself in the media extremely well. So that's a plus. I tip my hat to Carmelo, but it's not an easy place to play in New York.
Kenny Anderson on the phone with us right now. He played in New York. He grew up in New York City. You were never shy with your opinion. So I find it, I know it's kind of old news, but I got to ask you, what were your thoughts on the way the Knicks treated Charles Oakley?
Well, it's disrespectful. Guy that, gave them all for 10 years, known as the enforcer, Charles Oakley. I just think, your employee, someone you work for that many years, shouldn't be treated like that in that building. It was really sad. It just was crazy watching it on ESPN and then I was like, wow, this is nuts. So it's just too bad, man. Put a cloud over the Knicks, even worse a cloud, because now with all the losing going on and all the dysfunctional, you put that in there, it's just a bad time right now for the Knicks.
Kenny Anderson with us. So, Kenny, when you played, there were super teams, but not the way there are now. Like, dudes are jumping off of one squad to get on another just to pick up a ring. What do you think of teams like the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Great teams, man. It's a new generation, new group of players, great players, and you got to live with it. basketball has changed. Fan friendly, real high octane, very exciting. A lot of athletic players, and it's great for the game. But it's changed. A lot of the star players, instead of spreading the wealth, guys are playing with each other, which is you never would see that in the '90s.
Kenny, now that your career's come to an end, you're doing some amazing things with some of your younger basketball players in the area. You can stay on also. You can bring in your partner, Bobby, if you'd like to talk about some of the great camps. What are you guys doing in your area to help basketball with younger athletes?
So basically, I've been part owner. Bobby's the owner of a gym. It's called The Clinic. I'm the face of the gym, and we have my camps there. We have two programs, the Breakfast Club with Kenny Anderson, and we also have my national camp in the spring and in the summer. And that's about to, drop. We're about to have that camp. So I'll let Bobby tell you a little bit more about our camps and our stuff that we got going on.
Yes, pretty much, that number one, because I was grateful to partner with Kenny at least 2 years ago. He came in and he really presented, what he's trying to do with the kids and stuff like that. So, that we worked on a great partnership, and we still trying to build on giving the New York City basketball to the Tampa Bay area.
All right, and somebody like we're up here in upstate. How can we help? Because I think basketball is great for bringing the community together. Is there anything you can think of that we could do up here that would be helpful?
Well, I just think market it. We got packages. Kids that afford it or can afford it, they can come to Tampa and come. It's not just basketball. We're doing a whole type of program at the clinic, and that's what I'm trying to just give back. Pay it forward. Basketball is one thing, but also life lessons and mentorship programs. That's coming down the road, but that's what I see that I plan on doing. At the clinic, and skill level, giving back the fundamentals of the game. I think a lot about travel basketball and AAU basketball has taken that away a little bit. So you got to teach these kids how to play, how to develop them as players. And it's a challenge for me. I love it. I love being in the gym teaching the youth. They need me more. So and then Bobby saw my vision, and he's right with me on doing that. And I think it's going to be great. It's a process, but we just we going forward with it, and it's doing well right now.
What's the best way to get more information? The Facebook page, the clinic on Facebook?
Yes. That you can get on the Facebook page, or you can call the 800 number. The website is thespclinic.com, and the phone number is 866-500-3493.
Guys, thank you so much for making time for us, man. This is very cool. I love what you guys are doing.
Oh man, all right, thank you.